So,
Howdy.
this right here, my name is Jared, and this,
Thing.
I guess, is Cole, and welcome to Indie Game Club.
Howdy.
What are you talking about today, Cole?
Talking about Control. Now, is it an indie game? By definition.
By definition, yes. In actuality, probably not.
Probably not. It's probably too good.
Good.
Not good, I would say.
Budgeted.
Budget, it was extremely high.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most expensive indie games ever.
Yeah?
So, we're going to get to the part where I say, hey, Cole, what is Control?
Ooh, Control is from the studio called Remedy. They are known in the past for Max Payne, Alan Wake, one of my favorites, and a game in between. I forgot what it was called, but it's like a third-person action game.
Yes.
Shooter, I will say.
They do mostly third-person action shooters.
Third-person shooter with a heavy emphasis on story.
What's the most important part of Control? Story or gameplay?
Story, I'd say.
And that's why we're not going to talk about it much.
No, the story's the main draw of it.
So, the most I'll say is you're a woman, you come to a place to find a thing, and stuff happens.
Yes.
That's about all I can say without it being really spoiling.
Maybe we should, like, the first
Okay,
10 minutes?
how about just the hook and grab, right? So you're a woman whose brother is missing after an event. Your name is Jessie. You have bright red hair, hence the red lighting.
No, and you're stuck in a facility.
You enter a facility known as the Bureau of Control.
Yes.
That's why it's named Control, folks. And then you eventually go to the director's office, and he's dead.
Yeah, and you solve the mystery from there.
Yeah.
And what this bureau is and what it does.
What's going on? What you need to do?
Which I don't think I still quite understand what's going on.
Not at all.
Nah, it's very vague. As a fan of Alan Wake, I'm enticed.
It is the spiritual successor to Alan Wake.
Yes, I will say that.
And is it a good spiritual successor?
I'd say yes. I enjoyed it greatly.
Okay. If you played the Alan Wake games, there's a bunch of little nods there, some repeated characters, and an actor you'll recognize.
Yeah, he's great.
Is he great, or is he just pretty damn good?
He's pretty damn good.
Okay. But is he great, though, or is he pretty damn good? Pretty damn good's a step down from great. He's very entertaining.
Yes.
Although, maybe a bit long in the tooth.
A little long.
Yeah. So there's I was playing the game, and I would find myself just setting the controller down for any point where he appeared.
Really?
Because it was 3 minutes, man.
Oh, he's very entertaining.
But it's just 3 minutes. I'm like, well, I know I don't need to touch this for
He's great. Oh yeah, he appears as a couple characters.
Yeah, and he's always kind of weird. And he always gives you these he's never mandatory, but he'll give you a little bit of information.
I will say that I think the side stories are better than the main stories.
Yeah, because the side stories are wacky and weird.
They're wacky and weird, and you discover weird things, and all of the little. It might have some of the best little notes you find in a game. You always find notes in modern day games, but
yes,
these have really fun and interesting.
Read them.
Yes.
I normally ignore them. There's only 3 games I'll say read them. One of them's Oblivion, one of them's Control. So read the notes, right?
Yes. We found a guy who couldn't find the executive toilet, and it was funny.
Yes, he's like, I just want to shit in a good crapper. And he doesn't get that opportunity because he dies, most likely.
Most likely. I will say in the previous game, Alan Wake, they also had really good notes, but that's because it was the manuscript.
Yes.
So you you could read the plot ahead of time if you looked.
Yes.
Which was weird and interesting. I always hunted for them. Mm-hmm. And I never found all of them. I don't think I ever did.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Wake's an expansive game in terms of how roomy it is. I've only ever played one Alan Wake game.
I played both. I'm pretty much a fan, and now I think I'm a fan of Remedy. They had a game in between this that used the same engine as this one.
Yeah.
It was made by Microsoft. Microsoft helped make Alan Wake and that one.
Yes.
And then
they made Control, and now they're making a VR game, right?
I think they're making a VR game. I'm not.
Yeah,
sure.
I checked. I checked. I do research.
Okay.
We do research about that much, but we do it.
We do a little bit.
So We don't play the game for as long as we would like to in most cases.
No, but we get the idea.
That's the whole point of this. And the idea of Control is, it's fun.
It's really fun. You have, well, I'll just say you have a gun because that's part of the gameplay.
You have a gun. It's a special gun, and it changes.
It's like a magic gun, and I will say it looks really cool.
Yeah, its aesthetic is pretty good, but the controls are always fluid and smooth, and which isn't always true for third-person games nowadays. Sometimes they get jittery.
Not true for Alan Wake. It had some jitters.
Well, Alan Wake's like 7 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 2010.
10 years old, shit.
Yeah, Alan Wake. It was jittery. The jump never felt right. It has like a dodge thing. Anyway, we'll get to that when I talk about Alan Wake.
But Control doesn't suffer those.
No.
And as a controller gamer, I don't use keyboard or mouse. I'm making the switch. I have a really nice keyboard. I would like to use it more.
I mostly use keyboard and mouse.
And I played it for about 4 hours, straight keyboard and mouse. I played it before on controller, and I didn't notice a difference besides my left hand.
Okay.
Which means my mouse hand was fine.
Yeah.
Which is my biggest issue with the jump is the mouse hand, because I can aim with the stick, can't aim with the mouse. And it was really good. So if you are a controller gamer and you want to play Control and you don't have a controller for your PC per se, you can play it on keyboard and mouse even if you're
It's very nice. I enjoyed it. The combat's really fun.
You got so many different powers and abilities, and
you basically wager between 2 bars, I would say. You have like a low bar of how much energy you have to use your powers. And you have a gun that has an amount of ammo. And the ammo is universal between the gun because the gun changes to different varieties.
You don't get new guns. You get a different version of the same gun.
Yeah,
a shotgun version.
There's a shotgun, grenade launcher, rocket.
Mine launcher? It was like a trap launcher thing, right?
It was you shot it and you can remote detonate it.
Yeah,
and you can
so
shoot
it's like a
3 or more.
They're good, but like at the same time, that is one note I will note. The powers will shift the gameplay more than the guns will. And enemies are a little bit too basic.
I will say the enemy variety is lacking. The bosses in the side quests are amazing.
Yeah, that's one of my remake notes for this. One of my notes was, I feel like the enemies need more complexity, and the bosses can sometimes be a little bit less complex.
Well, especially when it crashes my computer every now and then.
I was going to save that for the end. It's glitchy.
Yeah, I could tell you're holding it back, but it's very glitchy.
It crashes, it sputters. If you leave the game and come back, you might not be able to control your character anymore. Like, I mean, if you alt-tab out and then just load the game back up. Or if you have dual monitors and you click over to the other monitor because it has the free click thing.
Yeah.
You can just... Your character will move delayed, about like, what, half a second? 1 second?
It kept cutting out and in the controls.
Yeah. You can just legitimately Google. You can just Google control glitches, and like there's a whole subreddit devoted.
We played it on GOG, I believe. That should be said.
Yeah, but I will also note that the glitches exist on Steam. They're just different. Each version has glitches. These get different ones. Like like both have the anchor glitch.
Yes, the anchor is probably the worst.
Just don't do the anchor mini boss. Optional.
Which makes me mad.
He loads too many objects and the game crashes. Maybe even with RTX.
That is something I will say. Apparently, the game looks amazing with RTX.
Yes, it has full RTX support. It has the little... So, click it if you have an RTX.
It looks beautiful. I would love to see this game in an RTX.
Oh, I'm going to get one soon, so...
Ooh, I can't wait.
Prepare for that. It'll look prettier up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Control is one of those games where it's kind of hard to talk about.
Because I'm willing to give, like, bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's so story-driven that talking about the story is counterintuitive, and talking about the gameplay gets repetitive. So...
I'll say what I want to say. Some of the powers are really interesting. When you get the flying... It has probably some of the best flying I have in a game. It's not really flying, it's more... Floating. You can jump really high up and you can stay at that altitude and then eventually you'll float back down. But it feels so good.
It's always controlled. You never feel like you lose it.
Yeah.
It feels like even when you run out of energy up high, it still gives you the gradual fall down.
And then you can grab yourself. You can choose between falling like normal or like slow fall.
Yes.
Which is very nice. And then once you get that power, it changes the combat. Because it becomes more vertical.
Yes.
Oriented, and you can fly around a bit more.
And then it gets a little bit less like enemies come. Because there's a lot of stairwells and enemies come at you from above. So you're just going to fly up and rain down hell.
The pickup power was probably my favorite.
It's the most useful. It's also kind of overpowered.
It's amazing. I feel like a Jedi.
You just like armored enemies come up to you and you just wham, they're dead. Like they have one hit left and you're like...
On stream, I used it so much and you just see me whack people aside. It was amazing.
It was really fun, entertaining to watch on stream too. It's a fun game to watch, which is kind of weird because games typically aren't fun to watch.
Yeah. I will. The enemies themselves, they have little numbers above them, and that's their difficulty.
Their level.
Their level, if you will. There's not really a level. You don't level up.
But like, you know, like saying their difficulty makes it like this, like binary thing. It's their level. Different things change depending on what the enemy is.
It's kind of like Destiny in a weird way.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's a good. It's a good way. Except there's no classes. It's much more like
and like the higher. I will say the higher level ones are lower, or just have like. Feels like they just have a chunkier life bar. Which
yeah, it feels like they just deal more damage and take more damage, which is the worst way to do a level system.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
So, and another thing, the sound design's lackluster.
A little bit.
The music's decent. It's okay, but a lot of times it's not balanced very well, especially in the short hair blonde blonde chick.
I don't know.
Hope.
I think so.
Pope.
Pope.
Yeah. Her dialogue scenes can often be really poorly mixed.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because her dialogue scenes are the most important in the game. This is where you discover everything. And she goes, like, over this, like, that's before my time, which I don't, like, is she older than you, younger than you? I don't understand it. Spoiler warning. Time will be here. Okay, so go to that time if you want to skip the plot spoilers, because we decided we're going to do those.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Cole, what are you going to spoil about the plot here for us? He played it more than I did.
Okay, so you're in the Bureau of Control, which is an organization that stops paranormal things.
Events. We'll call them events.
And a lot of them are like possessed items, it seems like.
Like a Christmas tree.
Like
or a clock.
That have all different powers and they react differently, and they capture them and study them and notice their reaction.
So that push power we talked about earlier, that comes from a floppy disk.
Yes.
It's super angry.
It's very angry, and it's throwing things at
And when we said you'll recognize the actor, well, he gives little snippets of information based on these things.
He's a scientist.
And he researches them, and he has this floppy disk, and he's like, it does this, and then you'll find that floppy disk. He'll do that about everything you find.
So I want to give out a few of my favorite side quests. So you find a man, he's staring at a fridge. He can't stop. If you stop, if you ever watch Doctor Who, it's a
Weeping Angel, it's the SCP from SCP Containment Bridge.
So if you stop looking at it, it changes and it eats him.
Yes.
And you have to come back later, and you say, "We'll be back," and it's like, "Oh God, hurry!" And he's been there for over a day.
Yeah. I don't want to die, damn it!
I don't want to die.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I don't know as much as I watched him play it on stream.
Okay, so there's a couple others that I love. The rubber ducky's funny.
What? Yeah, the rubber duck.
Yeah, it just keeps teleporting around. You have to chase the little bastard.
There's the mirror.
Oh, the mirror is really cool. You can go into it. It's a mirror universe.
Yeah.
Your character speaks backwards, and all of the text you see.
And you meet Essage.
Yeah, your reverse
self. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, her name's Jessie.
Essage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool actually. They have a lot of neat little things. There's a whole Alan Wake side quest.
As an Alan Wake fan, I was so excited. I loved it, and then it lasted too long.
And then he got to the boss.
Got to a boss. I couldn't beat it for the life of me. I'm still grinding for that.
It's catch us on stream. It's gonna be rough.
Oh God, it was so rough. Just putting all the times I died right here.
I'm gonna need you to die more times because that's off our stream now.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's a game that's so story driven that it kind of felt counterintuitive.
It felt counterintuitive not to talk about it.
Yeah, but also kind of feels like we don't want to tell you the plot because if we do, There's no reason for you to play it.
The story gets really trippy
And strange.
I'll talk about environments later, but like you find your brother and has similar powers as you, but he's being controlled by the evil force who has a dumb name.
The hiss. Jared replaced that with a better cat hiss. Jared, don't do that. Jared, leave this part in. Jared, take this part out.
What are you talking to Jared?
Because I am Jared. I want GoPro here. And then GoPro there, and we'll have our own cams to make jokes with.
I love it. But anyway,
or maybe this one here and GoPro.
What's some other side stories I'm trying to think of that are really fun to experience?
There's the rubber duck one comes off the red light, green light.
Yeah. There's a traffic stop.
And if you move, it teleports you.
So there's like a period of point where you have to walk while it's green and stop when it's red, and it was really funny on stream.
And reading the side quest, the note to it, where he's like, it teleports him to a random location.
Yeah.
It was out front of a school, so kids were going to school and just teleporting.
Yeah. You have a chance to like read them ahead of time, and you're like, oh, that's that. Oh.
Or you find them later, and you're like, oh, so that's what it was doing.
Yeah.
And it gives you more clarity on what happens. It's pretty cool.
There's an evil Christmas tree.
There's the red light, green light, and the Ducky are part of the errand run for the doctor.
Yeah, he has you do a bunch of errands, which I don't mind because they're so much fun.
Yeah, if you're into quirky weirdness more than you are into this really serious like Alan Wake thing, if you want more quirky weirdness,
I loved it.
Events and I guess singularities.
What do you think of the clocks?
Too many. To the point where there's a boss that crashes you with clocks.
It does. I can't beat it. It's impossible. It's the hardest boss ever.
Because the game crashes.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a fix. We tried it.
Shut up.
So there's a fix. We tried it. It didn't work. If you know how to beat the anchor, the fix for it.
Please let me know. Please, I want to beat the game.
He's really invested in this. And if you know how to beat the what's his name from Alan Wake?
The
Doctor.
Yeah.
And then tell us that because he's super hard.
That whole area is like a side quest.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do that side quest, you don't go to that area at all. Mm-hmm. There's no other stuff there.
And anyway, I think that's enough plot, right?
That's enough plot. We'll get into. I want to get into environments now.
Yeah. So welcome back.
Welcome back.
The map system sucks.
The map sucks. I hate it. I get lost all the time.
Dude, you'll see me being lost.
So.
I also apologize for the fact that you see me playing games, not him, most of the time.
So, the problem with the map is that the elevation isn't clearly illustrated.
It's not marked at all, is it?
It's marked by, like, how gray it is.
Yeah, but, like, it's not marked then.
No, it's not.
So what you need is four separate maps, right? Quarry.
I would almost say they need, like, the Doom Eternal map, and it was 3D. It was a completely 3D map.
I don't want them to do that. I would prefer if they just, at what floor you're on, it showed that.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then if you went down or up a floor, it would show you that floor.
Or you can swap.
Or just areas.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil style.
Another problem is with the side quest, it'll just tell you, it's in that area. And I'll be like, where?
And the areas are huge.
They're huge, elaborate, and weird.
Like, it's not like you'll have like this room and it's a stairwell here and a stairwell up, and you gotta go down. And you just and you're just like, okay, I go down, and you go the entire way in the wrong direction. Go back up to find the right way to go. Then you gotta go back in the wrong direction. Now it's the right direction. Now it's full of enemies.
Yeah, the enemies keep respawning, so that's not a way to tell either.
Also, like when you use the grab power, sometimes it's explosive and you just blow your stuff up.
My main problem with that was I stuck an enemy, and then it teleported to me to attack me, and then I tried to blow it because it did it in a split second, and I blew myself up in my face.
But there's areas of the map that change around.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It has a lot of changes, and it's weird and funky. Now, we should probably get into the environment going into that.
Yeah.
So, it's like in this big concrete facility, and you would think it'd get boring, but they use it to the best of their ability.
They use the things you find, like all the weird objects that create these eventualities, singularities, and events. Those are like used to manipulate the facility in a way that makes it feel fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and the way places, like, some are just like little desks here and there, and it's just an office, and then there's the place where it's obviously the generator, and you can get lower and lower as you will.
Yes.
There's one room that's really funny, and it's twisted to me, and I thought that was funny.
And there's like stairwells that go into stairwells at some points.
Yeah.
There's also just some really annoying ways, like, so sometimes the hiss is too strong, and it'll just kill you if you walk in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I will note that if you go into a place you're not supposed to be, it'll murder you.
It's fairly forgiving with restarts, as long as you save.
As long as you save, as long as you go into those little checkpoint places where you can teleport around the map, you'll be fine. You'll be fine if you go to a close one, because it spawns you there, to the last place you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So, considering that, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's forgiving as long as you make sure to make it forgiving.
Yeah.
It's a game that's designed to not be hard, but it is hard.
Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's so goddamn hard.
Some bosses are unfair. It like regular combat feels easy.
Yeah.
But then bosses feel hard, and it's a bad balance to me.
There's not like an in between. I don't really like the Destiny style kind of level system.
Yeah.
To the enemies, to be honest.
I don't like the level system in the game.
Oh yeah.
Where you like level up, you earn points and you spend them.
Oh yeah, you spend. We should probably bring that up. The progression.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. You gain points and you can use it to unlock weapons,
abilities, upgrade a weapon, upgrade an ability.
Now there's this weird one where it's like it almost feels like it was made for loot boxes.
Yeah.
For the weapons and powers, you can put little modifiers into each one, and they have a level system that I think goes to 5, as far as I know. 5 or 6, I want to say.
I don't know.
But they add little boosts, and the little boost is like they have a set amount of them, and then the level determines how big the boost is.
Yeah. And sometimes the boost can be something as cool as like getting ammo back when you fire.
Yeah.
Which is super useful because your ammo is super limited. Or it could be something as lame as enemies are likely to drop health, which is lame.
Yeah, it's just a dumb little modifier, and I don't know.
I feel like a lot of the things they thought would be balancing, personal balancing, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in like you don't really need as much personal balancing in a game like this. You need enemy balancing.
Yeah.
You need a more of a tighter design. The design's so open because you travel around the map as you want.
There's a lot of secret areas actually that you can discover and find. It's a game that really encourages you to explore.
It does remind me of old school Twitch shooters and that like Doom and Wolfenstein, where it's just like, hey, go about it, figure out the level.
I will. If you can go about different paths of unlocking your powers. I went with the throw, and once you get there, you can pick up like just giant bricks and multiple things at once. Apparently, if you go with the shield, you can just like you surround yourself with debris, which is awesome, and you can blast people.
But
yeah, that's.
Anything else you want to say?
I pretty much covered all of it.
So out of 10.
9. I really enjoyed the story.
So mine is 8.5. Play it, pay full value for it. It's worth it. But because of the glitches, the constant crashing, and the times it just drops frames and runs like crap, I'm going to have to give it a 6.
I had a better experience with the crashes than he did.
I fought the first boss 6 times. 3 times. 4 times. 4 times. 4 times. I killed it 3 and then beat it. And then, like, I beat it all times. It just crashed right after that. And it's the first boss.
And, yeah. And, like, my experience was just different than yours. Completely.
Yeah, and I mean, his computer's slightly better than mine as of right now. But
so, I'd give mine an 8.
Yeah, but I'm saying, with the glitches, I just can't recommend a game that has an unbeatable boss that crashes. I can't recommend that. That's my thing. So if in its current state, get it on sale or for free. But if they fix the glitches, it's worth paying full price for.
Oh, I can't wait for more. Maybe they'll make a Control too.
Yeah, who knows? Or maybe the VR game will be tied in somehow.
Maybe.
The ending's pretty open-ended. But anyway, thank you, and we'll see you soon.